Hi, this is my second video. In this, I will be talking about REST project which I have created. This one I have created for this application called Trello. I am a regular user of this application, not professionally, but personally. Professionally, I use uh, Jira board. This is Trello. This is open, and this one is also free. This Trello, as you can see, that this is very similar to Jira board, or we can also say Kanban board. We can move our tickets from one place to another, in progress, on hold, done, you see, and move all the way back. And this one is a documentation that I have found. This one is written quite good. If we have this what do you call this, and if we want to create a new card, underneath there you will go over here and you will check the API documentation. It is saying this is post. Obviously it is going to be a post, and this is the resource one and cards. These are the query parameters. Obviously this one is asking for a key, this one is asking token. This is for authentication. I have already gotten my keys and token from the internet. I am not going to explain this process. This one is pretty self-explanatory if you follow the links that they have provided for getting them. It is these are not mandatory, but we are going to use them. This is one for name. Obviously we are going to give some name. This is one for description, DESC. Save. This one for description. This one is due date, to complete, ID list. You see, ID list is also required. If you want to have this ID list with you, I have found a way to do that. If you just write JSON in the end, it will not here. Okay, good. Okay, this is parsing everything. This one looks good. You will see this is the ID of the card which we are going to use, which we have created. And if we use ID list, this is the list in which it was created. So you see. So I'm going to head back, click on close button. Let's see how many other things, ID label, URL source, so many things that we can do, but we are going to restrict ourselves. One of the main problem that I have faced, not faced, which I think that it is lagging in these APIs, that they don't have the body. They are just working with a URL. We are providing everything in the URL, in the query parameters which I have mentioned above. So these are not ideal how to say APIs I want anyone to test upon, but I think that we can interact with the cards which are being created. So I think that these can be very much educational, because it would be visual. So let's see. So I have already created everything here. I'm going to, and then I created a suit. I created a test kit called combined. I combined this one, a new card. If I click on this new card, you will find that this is a key, this is a token which we were talking about earlier, from where the data is being driven. This is properties.key. Then it means that this is the properties. In this I have given keys and token. If you want to use this keys and token, you can, but I will be removing this board, so you won't be able to access it afterward. So this is key, this is token, and this is ID list, which I have already gotten from the process I have shown you before. It only takes some googling around and checking that how this API is really working. So just little bit effort and little bit of effort needs to be put over here. This is the ID list, this token list, this is a key. So obviously I am providing them over here. This is the name and this is the description of the card that will be created. I'm going to hit it. The content cannot be viewed in XML, obviously, because the media type is Word application.json. I will come here and we'll see, okay, the response is well good enough. The ID is coming. You remember this was the ID that I was displaying earlier. This is ID list. Obviously this is the ID list that I have provided down here. Let's go back here and see. Wow, we have a card with description, new card description, and this one is matching. So very easily I have taught you that what are these. This one is test step properties. This is property transfer. Again, over here, why I wanted to have this property transfer, because I found that property transfer using JSON is very easy. You see, no declaration whatsoever. I haven't given any declaration. I have been using XPath. If I want to traverse, I will just use word. I will use like object, parent object dot child object, and if I have some array, and I will traverse, and then 10. As simple as that. As my response is pretty simple, I haven't used any of those. So what is happening? It is saying that new card which I have just ran, get the response and JSON path, and where to put it. Combined. What is combined? It's my test case. In the test case, I have created word. I have created this ID list. I shouldn't have used ID list. I should have used ID card. Nevertheless, what I'm trying to do over here, I'm trying to get the ID of my card, this one, so that I can use further in my other request. If I run it now, what will happen? There is a transfer log. It is saying that this ID I have transferred. Where? To here. Let's see if it has worked. It has worked. Awesome. This one, oh yeah, I totally forgot to tell you about the raw response. Obviously this one is rest, so this one is for post. Here we can have get, we have post, we can have delete, we have some we can do any other action. We have all the URI, HTTP version, we have obviously a host, content type, application JSON. Here comes the, what do you call it, blank line, and underneath them there is a HTTP body which is currently empty, which I was talking about earlier, that HTTP body is coming as empty. Let's check the response. This one is HTTP 1.1 200. Okay, HTTP status is coming, HTTP version is there. What is this? Each and everything here is a HTTP header, and this one is response. This one is what? Empty line. Why we need to have this empty line? I don't think I have mentioned about this one earlier. Empty lines tells that okay, here the HTTP headers have ended, and this is where the HTTP response or request have started. Not HTTP response required, HTTP body has started. Sorry, I misspoke. So let's see. Let's move to the next one. Update card. Let's see the row. Okay, we don't have any row right now. We don't have any body, so I'm just going to click it here and going to show this one to you. This one is what? Update card. Let's go here and update card. Very easy. ID, key, token. Now there is a little bit of hinge over here. If you see the ID, which is a part of what? Resources, it is saying that it needs to be changed in each run for each card. Obviously each card have different IDs, so how can I put my values in here? So what I did, I just copied it here. This part was not there. It was curly braces ID, then I wrote ID here and I provided my data, driving my data from test case ID list. This is the same place where earlier my property transfer has transferred my property. Another thing to note is that the style is template, which tells us that it must have came from where? From the resources. Let's run it. It says that okay, execution has been done. You see updated card description. Let's see about the assertion. Here I am using script assertion. You can use script assertion in XML also, but why I'm using it here only? Because I don't want to reiterate things. So here we go. I'm just going to write it single time. JSON slurper dot parse text. This thing, you see, this is used for parsing your JSON. Earlier we were using XML holder for parsing the XML. This one, you see, this one we are using message exchange. You must have remembered when we were using Groovy scripting, we had test runner. Now we have test message exchange. The message for some reasons that I should know, I don't know them right now. Message exchange is being used instead of test runner. Message exchange helps in getting our data much more easily. You remember when we using test runner, how we were doing? We were going to our what do you call, test case, and then we were traversing to our test step, and then we were traversing to get their custom properties or those test steps. Here it's quite easy because we are using a single them in a single step. We are not going to traverse to traverse to some other places, other test cases, other scenarios. So message exchange dot response, we can write a request dot response dot response content. We are saying that copy them over here and pass them here. The response is JSON, so obviously it makes sense. Here we are doing assertion, which here we are doing assertion. This one is what is happening. It is saying that but you want to you need to get the values from here, from where? Context dot get test case get property value dot script assertion. Here we need to use context. We cannot use message exchange. If you want to go outside your test steps, you obviously need to use either context or test runner. We don't have test runner, so we need to use context dot get test case dot get property value. This one, it is saying that come here and check that if the description is same of our application of an updated card. So let's see. Okay, the assertion has already passed. Okay then, okay, yeah. Let's see if a new card had any other assertion. It has only simple assertion called contain assertion. We can write anything. This is just a placeholder for the time being. Active status code, I have told you earlier also, it doesn't make any I'm not going to explain it all over again. This is for archive all cards. Let me think where I have found archive all cards. I think list. Yeah, archive all cards in the list. It will archive all the cards from this list and you won't be able to see anything. Again, ID token and everything is coming from test step properties. You might be asking question that why the hash is not given over here. If I change the name of properties to xyz, I need to use xyz because properties is not a keyword like test step or test cases, test scenario, not test name, test suit and properties. I'm going to run it. JSON, empty JSON. Okay, let's see. Row. Okay, 200. Okay, then it means it is running. Let's see. This one is also for post. If we go over here, empty, everything is empty. Let's do this one more. Let's automate this one. Empty. It must have created something. Let's do one more time. Empty. You see what was happening here? So let's see if I am missing anything. Just let me give some time. See, right now, although I'm using this API, I intend to use this GitHub API, which I have found quite interesting, but I will be using it in my separate lectures where I will be creating a framework from the scratch. In that particular lecture, I am saving that GitHub REST API. Okay, I think we are done.